All right, after a couple of nights in the car, we took a third night here at the Happy Hollow in Hot Springs. This is a quick way to get hot showers and kind of regroup and plan for the next couple of days. So we're going to go back to Ouachita National Forest this morning and find another car camping spot, maybe do a little hiking and do some more drone stuff. So guess we better get on the road. We're going to do the Harris Creek Trail. This is at like the Cossatot State Park nature area, something like that. And this is the trailhead. I think it's somewhere around somewhere between 3 and 5 miles. We'll find out. And it's the parking area. We were the only ones here. And note the absence of a trailhead pit toilet or anything. There's nothing here, so make sure you're prepared for that. All right. Let's find out what this trail has. So I had been holding out hope since we left McDonald's this morning in Hot Springs, assuming that this is, since it's kind of a state park-ish sort of trailhead, that there would be an outhouse kind of pit toilet here, because I had some business to tend to. So imagine my disappointment when it wasn't there. But I prepared ahead on this trip and bought a little pop-up outhouse looking thing you can use for showers as well, and a bucket that it's got a little toilet lid on it and some biodegradable bags. So I used this for the first time and I didn't die. It's very exciting. So I found this particular trail on All Trails, and you know, I upgraded to the Pro plan on All Trails so I could download maps, and which you might actually even be able to do to some extent on the free version. But it was like 4.5 stars for this Harris Creek Trail, and marked it at 3.3 miles. And reading some of the reviews, some people who've hiked it said it was actually 3.5 miles, and then, which that difference is insignificant. And then somebody else said it was actually more like 5 miles. And so I'm not sure. I'm using a GPS track on my Fitbit with my phone to see what it records, and we'll find out. So I'll report back. One interesting note is this is the first time I've used All Trails completely offline with no cell service. And I had downloaded the map for offline use. But All Trails would not work properly until I actually put my phone in airplane mode. And then all of a sudden, it loaded the stuff that I had saved. When I wasn't in airplane mode, it kept trying to use the cellular network and kept timing out. So, I don't know, if you're an All Trails user and you've experienced that or haven't experienced that, and sometimes do, maybe keep that in mind. And it's December 20th. We got a beautiful morning here in northwest Arkansas. We're right outside the Ouachita National Forest area, as I mentioned. And it's going to be about 55 degrees today, which is probably a good 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. And yesterday was kind of a rain out. It wasn't a soaking rain, but it was a constant drizzle. And really overcast fog. I mean, visibility was less than a quarter mile, no matter where you looked. Trying not to lose the trail here. And then this morning on our way out of Hot Springs, it was about an hour-and-a-half drive to get here. And for the first 20-30 minutes or so, it looked like more of the same from yesterday without the rain. Just really low clouds and fog. It looked pretty gloomy. And then all of a sudden we crested a hill and boom, we're in the clear blue sky. It was really kind of strange to see it change so abruptly. But looks like it's going to stay that way, at least in this part. Well, this time of year, it's nice to be in just a hoodie. See all the underbrush is down and you can see through the woods. Makes the hike a little more pretty, I imagine, in the summertime. There's really not much to look at on this trail, at least the first mile that we've been on so far. All of a sudden, Chloe starts pulling like she's seen something, and I was trying to figure out what she was looking at. And all of a sudden, I saw some movement out the corner of my eye. And there's no mistaking it was an armadillo. That would be the first time I've ever seen an armadillo in the wild. Kind of cool. I don't see him now, unfortunately. But that was neat. We've arrived at the Harris Creek Vista. Complete with a giant sign and a wooden bench. Oh, that's pretty. Made it to Goat's Bluff, whatever that is. I hear the wind. Right. Just past the Goat's Bluff sign, the trail continues and goes downhill really sharply. It looks like there might be a really pretty high overlook here. Some might call it a, I don't know, bluff. Why am I looking at myself falling? There, that's better. Let's see where I'm falling to. Steeper than it looks, I assure you. Oh yeah, it opens up beautifully here. Look at this. Well, that's a view. All right, I can see the parking lot. Well, actually, so can you. There we are. We have just virtually completed the loop. I gotta be careful, we're on some really slippery shale right here. I'll show you what we're dealing with. It's like walking on ice, and it goes downhill, and it's damp. But as I was saying, it's really about a 4-mile hike. And you know, we really only went off the marked trail path to go take a look at the Goat's Bluff overlook, which was, you know, literally it was 30 yards and back. And yeah, so according to my watch, we're at 2 hours into this, and it only took that long because, you know, we stopped and enjoyed a couple views, and I did some drone stuff. So it's an easy 2-hour hike. You can certainly do it in a lot less than that if you don't take a leisurely stroll like we did. and plan on about 4 miles. That Goats Bluff overlook, if you continue past the sign, is definitely worth the extra few feet because it is gorgeous. And I kind of regret not putting the drone up there, but there was no easy way I could launch from without doing it by hand. And I haven't practiced it with this new drone, so I didn't want to risk it. Because if I didn't catch it cleanly, it would have tumbled down over a cliff and I'd have lost it. So there we are. The Cossatot River State Park natural area. No camping here, but very cool. This whole area right here is parking lot, and about 100 yards past where the trail starts used to be a big shale pit where they would mine shale for road surfacing and things like that. It's all been repurposed now, so a nice, relatively short hike. Now it's time for some lunch. About 40 minutes later, we find ourselves back where we were the second night, really, in Ouachita National Forest area. We are at the Blaylock Creek road. This is National Forest Road 106, I believe. Yeah, 106. But it's much sunnier out today than it was when we were here a couple days ago. And we're going to find another spot down by the creek. At least that's the plan. All right, we decided to take a quick stop here at the winding staircase trailhead. We were here briefly yesterday, but after doing some research on this trail with all trails, it does appear that very early on there's at least one water crossing, and then shortly thereafter a second one where you have to wade across the Little Missouri River. Now I've waded across the Little Missouri River up in North Dakota many years ago, but we are not prepared for that on this trip. We didn't bring any water shoes, and we don't feel like wading. So we're just going to take a quick stroll and see what these water crossings, or at least the first one, looks like. And if we can get past the first one without doing any soaking of our feet, then we may go to the second one, which is actually the Little Missouri. But this trail is supposed to be pretty good. Just check it out on All Trails if you haven't. So if you plan ahead and bring your water shoes, there's some pretty cool rock formations, and there's a cave, I think, at some point, and of course the things that look like winding stairs after the trailhead's name. So I really wish we were better prepared for that, because it would have been kind of cool to do. But in the middle of December, we weren't planning on doing any water crossings, so it is what it is. Well, let's see what we can find. This is the Blaylock Creek that we'll be camping along a little bit later. We're going to find a campsite right after this. I just wanted to come down here and see what we were into. There's actually a bench down here. Jeez, it's amazing what people do. So yeah, it looks like people are trying to cross it with these little logs. Looks like there might even be a little trail that runs along here that goes down some bigger rocks. We may take a look and see what that looks like. So this looks like a much easier place to cross, probably. But you're still going to get your feet wet. And you can see the blue and white blazes on the other side of the creek over here. So yeah, there's really no way to cross this without getting your feet wet, and we're just not prepared for that. And we're going to be out of daylight here in another couple hours anyway, so this would not be the time to start this hike at this time of the year, with the sun kind of going down right around 5:30. So I think we'll just enjoy the area here a little bit, and we'll head back and go find a campsite. And we've got our pick of really great spots. I'm just not sure how we get the car back here. There's like a little cascade over here, like a swimming hole, and there's even a rope to swing out. In the summer, that'd be great. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to take this shot. I'm gonna see if I can get the car. Gonna come through those trees and come up this little embankment, and I can maybe just, you know, kind of park it right here. And I know a lot of people get preachy about this. I don't want to be that guy, but and I gotta believe that anybody watching this video is not guilty of this, and I was already aware, but the whole leave no trace thing. I mean, these national forest areas, I mean, just throwing a beer can in a fire doesn't make it go away. And all down this little logging road down this way, there's just a lot of trash. It's really kind of ridiculous. There's a box springs somewhere over here, you know. So despite the relatively pristine facade here, there's an amazing amount of garbage that people leave behind. So in the unlikely event that you're one of those people who thinks it doesn't matter, it matters. Clean up after yourself. So if you're interested in finding this particular dispersed camping spot, probably the easiest way to do that is to look up the coordinates for the winding staircase trailhead here in Ouachita National Forest. I think it's Forest 106 maybe. Hopefully I got that right. But then you're going to drive about 2 miles or 3 miles or so past that, and how you'll know you're just about here is the whole time there's going to be the Blaylock Creek on your left hand side, and just before you get to this campsite there's a little 1-lane bridge you cross that puts the creek on your right hand side. As soon as you cross that bridge, you'll round a little bend to the right and you'll see the campsite on your right, so can't miss it from there. Yeah, this is our crazy setup. Got an annoying dog down there taking up way too much space.
Looks a little bitter.
Little dog here, very entitled, but doesn't consume a lot of resources, so you know, we allow it. And then right here, so got the Jackery right there, charging my drone battery and powering our electric blanket.
And the Baby Yoda.
And the Baby Yoda, but doesn't require power. And I'm currently running a star time lapse, which I will run right now.